There we go. My God, I am so over tech difficulties. Well, welcome in. Appreciate you being here. We're chilling, we're chilling. We're going to be doing Q&As and then I'm going to go live and in game. So we'll be doing that over on Kick as well. I think the viewer thing is broken, so I'm not even going to bother with that. So yeah, how is everyone? How we doing? What's up, Ray? Exotic, how we doing? Well, just figured I'd go live and, answer questions and whatnot. Just chilling. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We're trying to get this back and rolling and being consistent. And, I just felt like this is the best course of action. I'm going to be playing Sifu in a little bit over on PS5. Still thinking I might just stick to Kick for gaming. I haven't decided yet, but I'm leaning in that direction. I think that might make the most sense. And then for just anything, Jersey League blue and white metallic. There's no Jersey leak. That's not real. DeMarcus Robinson. Is that who you're talking about? I assume that's what you're talking about. There's a delay here. Simulcasting isn't, I guess, the best because there's always going to be a low latency delay instead of an ultra low latency like I prefer. Well, if you're talking about DeMarcus Robinson, I like it. I don't think he's going to be some superstar or anything like that, but Yeah, as far as that goes, I can say that's absolutely not true. There's no white and blue uniform coming for the Rams. Yeah. Nope, there's no white and blue uniform coming for the Rams. I have not heard anything of the sort. I can't say. I can't say what the color's going to be. I can just tell you it's not going to be that. I agree with that. Yeah, no, Robinson, he could beat you in the short and intermediate. He can beat you down the field. He's a big-bodied receiver. And not big-bodied, right? Like, he's not like 6'5", but, he's filled out, box-out defenders. It's not. I'm telling you right now, it's not. Back at you, CJ. I think pretty much all of them are going to miss it except for guys like, obviously Cooper Kupp, Van Jefferson, Tutu Atwell, Ben Skoranek, and then you have Puka Nacua, and then it's going to be between Tyler Johnson and DeMarcus Robinson and whether or not they want to keep them both or just keep one of them. And that'll pretty much decide, that'll be that course of action where they want to go. Because they're not going to cut Puka Nacua. I don't see it anyway. How's it going, Edwin? Do I think Akers gets cut mid-season? No. No. Definitely not. And I don't I don't feel any Ben Skoranek trade coming because he does things completely different than everyone else. You know, he could be lined up in line as a tight end. He can be lined up on the outside as a receiver, lined up at fullback. He just does too much to just get rid of him like that. No. I think Dalvin Cook is going to go to the Miami Dolphins. That's where I have him pegged right now. I know he wants to go to a contender. And I mean, if he's looking at Miami, then it probably means that he doesn't want to get taxed like half of his paycheck. So I that's a big reason why it's harder to get guys in LA. You know, the state income tax. It's a lot. It's a lot. And there's no state income tax if you go to a team that's in Florida. So boom, there you go. Well, here's the weird thing. I don't really like DeAndre Hopkins. I've made that known, but it's not like I think he's Julio Jones all over again. I mean, let's be honest here. Like, Julio Jones was past his prime over the hill. DeAndre Hopkins, they are not the same. And I've seen like, oh, they're the same type of player. What's the difference? They're the same. I don't agree with that. I do not agree with that. I think Hopkins can still play at a high level and be a starter. When, you know, Julio Jones became available, he was a novelty. Big name, going to be a Hall of Famer, completely past his prime. Now, would he have been past his prime if not for the injuries? I don't know, but potentially. So, I don't know. That's kind of like where I sit on that. I find it funny. I've done 3 streams in a row on Kick, and obviously this one is on YouTube, and last night was on YouTube, and all 3 of them have given me crap as far as like tech difficulties. It's such a pain in the ass. Legit backup. Are you talking about quarterback, CJ? What position are you talking about for backup? I'm curious. Quarterback. Okay. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, quarterback I think is definitely going to end up being Stetson Bennett. So that's where I think we're at right now. I think it's going to be Stetson Bennett. I think Brett Rippon might be kept on the roster as a third guy, but I think Bennett's going to be the backup. Starting cornerbacks, good question. I think when you look at the cornerbacks, I mean, typically speaking, they're going to be playing in the nickel majority of the season. So with that said, you know, I think you have Travius Hodges-Tomlinson as your nickel. I think you have Jacoby Duran on the outside, and I can't help but feel like it's going to be Darian Kendrick on the outside. But I don't know. Robert Rochelle kind of piques my interest a little bit. You know, just a little bit. What's up, Brandon? How's it going? Makes sense. Might give him a chance to start. Right, I know. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. The 2K copyright the music. Oh my god. So obnoxious. I mean, I thought the music was trash anyway. And I'm bitter, so I'm probably going to sound more bitter than I was, but no, I was like, man, I don't even care. Like I don't, none of this music is, you know, aesthetically or any bit pleasing to me. I I was like, I didn't have it on like to listen to it. It was just on in the background. So when we started 2K yesterday and we get copyright claimed because, you know, some rap song was in there or whatever, it's like, I mean, those of you who know me know I'm not really a huge fan of rap as it is. And I do like, you know, some rap artists, but for the most part, it's very, very selective listening. Like, I'm the pickiest rap fan ever, and I barely listen to it. So when I got copyright claimed last night after 4 hours of streaming, and mind you, I'm not making like a ton of money off those gaming streams either. Like, I think 200 people tuned in on like YouTube altogether. But it's just like, you know, that happens and you're like, man, that's some grade A BS. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just so dumb. But anyway, you know, moving on from that. Let's see. What's up, Sean? You got me food?
It was a mess up. They sent me mozzarella sticks and wings instead of my cheesecake. So.
Wait, you got cheesecake again?
Nope, I didn't get cheesecake yesterday, and they didn't send me my cheesecake today.
Who is this?
Fridays.
Oh my god.
I really wanted that caramel cheesecake.
Oh my god. Yeah, my brother's right there. You guys have seen him before. He's been live with me. That's hilarious. So you tried to get your cheesecake twice.
Well, the first time I compromised because you wanted Red Robin. So I was like, oh, I'll get the brownie. And that was delicious. But I've been craving cheesecake.
And they didn't give you the cheesecake, but they instead gave you wings and mozzarella sticks.
Yeah. I literally barely wanted the burger that I ordered. I just ordered the burger because I wanted cheesecake. And so I ate the burger, and then I looked, and then I'm like, there's no fucking cheesecake. I'm sorry for the profanity. I know you're streaming.
Oh my god, that's so dumb. That's so dumb. So yeah, I mean, you know, anytime you order cheesecake, just be aware you might get mozzarella sticks and buffalo wings.
Oh, yeah, if you want it, it's right there.
Appreciate it. I'll probably have it after this, and then we'll go live and we'll play Sifu on here.
Love you, bro.
Thanks, dude. All right. So let's see. If it was DoorDash, they took the cheesecake and gave you the rest. Oh, did you tip? I didn't ask him, but hey, man, that's just me being down to earth. My brother might pop downstairs and whatnot. I'm just a normal dude, just on a live stream. Appreciate. I see 2 people over on Kick.com. Appreciate you. If you haven't already, be sure to follow for more content. And I mean, we're gonna be gaming over there. I figured we do an hour Q&A, right? And then we'll game over there and we'll play Sifu, which I'm really excited to play. It's this fighting game and I cannot wait to play it. So that's where we're at. Motsticks goated. Yeah, I'm actually, all of a sudden my life got very interesting just now because those just entered it and I didn't have to do anything. So that's pretty dope. What's up, Jordan? How we doing? DoorDash is the worst. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to turn this show into an anti-DoorDash like hate speech, but I'll say this right now. I drove for Uber Eats and I drove for DoorDash and I drove for Grubhub. Okay. Didn't really care for Grubhub. I really liked Uber Eats, and DoorDash just penalizes you if you don't take it, and they give you the worst. I'm not kidding when I say the worst orders. Like, I would get an order where it'd be like, drive 50 minutes and you'll get $5. Who would do that? Like, why would you want to do that? What is the point of that? You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to drive 50 minutes to get $5. So I'm barely making over $5 an hour. That doesn't, no. So yeah, I stopped doing DoorDash and I don't use it. I don't like it. I think he ordered Grubhub though, if I'm not mistaken. So, oh, that reminds me. My brother once got food. I think it was DoorDash. He ordered bagels, and the guy was chewing the bagels that he ordered while he was on the phone and said they didn't have the bagels. Man, everyone's got a food delivery story. Whether you were the one getting the food delivered to you or not. Good God, man. Edwin, I'm sorry I missed that. If Josh Allen wasn't on the Madden cover this year, who would you replace him with? Assuming there's no Madden curse, it would probably be... Oh, man. I think I'd probably just do Aaron Donald if there was no Madden curse. If there was a Madden curse, if it was up there, I'm not saying I'm trying to curse anybody, but like non-Ram, we'll say. I don't know. There's something kind of cool about having... I think it'd be cool to have Joe Burrow on it, who I think is better than Josh Allen, personally. But, well, the cover's terrible because I thought the cover art looked pretty good, and then I saw that they didn't even connect the face mask. It's not connected. It's like a failed Photoshop. Everyone's got a story about a DoorDasher eating their food. What does that tell you about DoorDash? You never know. When we get on here and it says Q&A, you never know what we're going to talk about. No, 20 minutes ago when I went live, I didn't think I was going to have technical difficulties, but I should have known, first thing. And then the second thing is I didn't think we'd have multiple talks about DoorDash, or the fact that I would just have food just sitting there right for me that I didn't order. Pretty awesome. DK might be underrated. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm too hard on him. I haven't quite figured it out. I feel like I'm hard on him, but I don't know. What I do know is that in the effort of being fully transparent with you guys, I mean, it's kind of gross, but like my skin is peeling at my wrist because I wore this too long. Take off your Apple Watch, man. Don't sleep with it on. Don't wear it like 3 days in a row. You'll get straight indents and skin will just start peeling off your wrist. Like, that's what ends up happening to me. So I gotta take a break with that Apple Watch. Also, it's probably not good to have something that hot just on your wrist all day. So yeah. Appreciate that, Sean. I've been to one Mets game. They played the Yankees and the Yankees won. So I went to a Subway Series game. I went to Citi Field and I saw Green Day and Weezer. Fall Out Boy was supposed to play, and the reason why I went there, but they had to cancel due to one of their roadies having COVID. That broke me, but that's the only time I ever went to Citi Field. I've never seen a Mets game or any game at Citi Field. Just one show, and it was a great show. It was just really frustrating that like Fall Out Boy didn't get to play. You're on DoorDash all the time. Yeah, my friend Evan has been saying that it looks great, so I'm sure it does. I just maybe there's a scenario someday. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Maybe someday, even though I'm a PlayStation guy. I don't love Sony, but I do love PlayStation. And maybe someday I will buy one of the new Xboxes when I have the money. And that probably wouldn't happen until Elder Scrolls 6 comes out. So, that's what I'll say right now. But, yeah. Gary, appreciate that. The only problem is it only works for YouTube. I can highlight comments. But it only works for YouTube. So when I do gaming, I won't have this because then it's like I have to be high maintenance. That'll just have all the chat going. I did completely revamp the gaming alerts. So like when people sub and when people follow on Kick, it's going to have something at the top. I got a Todd Gurley graphic for when people sub, so that's kind of cool. When people follow, I got a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air graphic. I've just been messing with it using bot tricks. I don't know what the best thing is. I'm just figuring it out as I go. I've never been a really flashy streamer. Like, I don't have like, stream beats in the background. I don't have, like those things that pop up and memes and stuff. And maybe that is something that is to come now going over to Kick. But I'm still here on YouTube as well. And so, that is that. Shout out to great drivers who don't do this. Yes, absolutely. Shout out to great drivers who don't do that. I'm one of those great drivers. I drove 300. I did 300 orders on Uber Eats and I never had an issue. I just got food after. I got my own food. I paid with my money. I didn't just take someone else's food. It's I don't know, man. I'm quitting after 6,000 deliveries and a 4.9 rating and still get 250 for 14 miles. Thanks, Jordan. I'm definitely one of them that don't pull that crap. Customer service is everything. Facts. And I might get back on that Doordash grind. Or not Doordash. Uber Eats. I'm debating on whether or not I want to do it again. Because the surge pay isn't there anymore. And I'm not made of money. So, that would be nice. But, I think without the surge pay, I don't know if it's really going to be worth my time because I might be able to just generate that in the time I'm making content. So it's gotta make sense at the end of the day, You say Justin Jefferson and Pat Mahomes. I think Pat Mahomes has been on enough covers. Nuisance over on Kick. I switched to Kick and make about $3,600 a month. That's wow. Really? That's not that account, right? Because that says you have 0 followers. I think you're not pulling my leg, are you? You live in Vegas? That's cool. That's cool. I ordered groceries one time and dude said they didn't have any of what I ordered and replaced it and didn't even deliver, just stole my food. That's insane. I agree with that. Oh, okay. You switched to Kick. I see now. I see what you're saying. You switched over to Kick. And you make $3,600 a month doing DoorDash. I got you. Now it makes sense. I wasn't sure if you were trolling me. That's funny. Jake, with the Nuggets getting close to winning a chip, will the Jokic slander be dead? He's great. I just don't like him. I do not like Nikola Jokic. I don't know if I'll ever like Nikola Jokic. I find him really annoying. He looks annoying. And no, I'm not saying it's because he's from another country. It's just that, that gangly guy in the post that, he looks like a beached whale when he flops. I just don't like Jokic. There's no way. But, you have to admit he's one of the best players in the league. He was this close to winning his 3rd MVP in a row. Now, to be fair, LeBron James had years where he should have won the MVP and didn't even get an MVP. They totally robbed him. I think it was Derrick Rose. Remember the year Derrick Rose won MVP over LeBron and then LeBron owned his ass in the playoffs? Now, I shouldn't be bagging on Derrick Rose. The dude's had it rough in his career. But, this is what I'm talking about. The year Steve Nash won the MVP over Kobe. I don't know. It's like MVPs, I think we forget. It's not like God came down from the heavens and was like, this man is the best player in basketball and he should win the MVP. No, it's a subjective thing that, people vote on, like human beings. Human beings get things wrong all the time. So, if you have a bunch of human beings, yes, it's possible that a bunch of human beings got it wrong. It's not. I think they got it right with Embiid, in my opinion. I do. And, People keep saying, well, Jokic is in the NBA Finals. Jokic is going to win a ring. That's great. Awesome. But what you need to understand is that it is a regular season award. And Embiid averaged, 33, 34 points per game? I mean, we can't act like a guy playing that position. Also, he's a way better defender than Jokic. That's the biggest issue with Jokic. Anyone can drive towards him because he's not a good defender. But my love and hate relationship with Sony, I'm with you. I'm trying to go to a few Rams games. We'll see what ends up happening. I'd like to go to Steelers with my cousin over in LA when they play the Steelers. I'd like to go to the Ravens one, and I got the Giants one 3 hours away from me. So hopefully it'd be cool to go to 3. Might just go to 1 or might go to none. I don't know. Depends. It depends on a lot. Who's going to win Offensive Player of the Year? I mean, I could see Kupp winning it again. I could see Cooper Kupp winning it. If he stayed healthy last year, he would have been in the running. I could see Cooper Kupp winning it again. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. So here's the thing. You ready for this? This is the facts. This is the truth when it comes to Uber Eats versus, DoorDash or anything like that, right? So Uber Eats is by some people considered luxury. Now, I know it's not, but people look at Uber Eats the way it's branded itself. It looks more expensive. That's actually, I've heard this from customers that I've dropped food off to. Be like, oh, it's my first time trying Uber Eats. All my friends have been saying it's really, really good and it's high end. I mean, I don't know if I would say it's high end food delivery. I'm still, whether I'm on Uber Eats or whether I'm on DoorDash, I'm still delivering your food in my, Toyota Corolla. I'm not driving a Beamer now because you're paying it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I would say it's high end, but I think that's really what it is. It's the branding that people just kind of associate higher prices with Uber Eats, DoorDash, not as much. And I think the reason is because the marketing. If you look at DoorDash, you see the marketing. It's younger college kids trying to make extra money. And so, they kind of just make the assumption that the clientele is mainly younger college kids that are trying to make extra money, or, younger college kids, or just, I need something quick. Whereas Uber Eats branding is, they go out and they get like big time actors and actresses. That's what happens. It's funny how that works. But when it comes to Spider-Man, I mean, I got you. You think Stafford? That means, I don't see a quarterback winning Offensive Player of the Year in this day and age, because if they win Offensive Player of the Year, then that means they probably didn't win MVP. They're not going to give both the Offensive Player of the Year and the MVP to a quarterback. Typically speaking, the Offensive Player of the Year is a non-quarterback MVP award at that point. That's pretty much what it's for. I don't necessarily agree with it, but that's what it's become, essentially. So, yeah. I'm getting kind of excited to play Sifu in a little bit. I've never played it before. It's a fighting game. Getting kind of excited for that. Also, just know, my community tab on YouTube, best way to get a hold of me if you have any, questions about, I don't even know questions. I think... treat it like a suggestion box, right? Under any of those posts. If you have a suggestion, drop it. I can't even say suggestion. It's like a word that just doesn't want to be said. But, over on Kick, treat that chat as a suggestion box. It's constantly updating. It stays the way it is from every chat. So I'm not kidding when I say I drove over 100 miles and didn't get a single order, LOL. If I didn't drive a hybrid, I would have been absolutely done. My God. Yeah, I think the worst one I did, I drove a total of 50 miles and I didn't get a tip. And I was pretty pissed by that. Like that was a hard pill for me, a tough pill for me to swallow, if you will. That was really hard for me to let that one go. Because, I mean, I don't know. My thing is, like, when people say at restaurants, if you don't have the money, you don't go to a restaurant. I kind of get that. But I still think that sometimes there are people that expect these tips that are so lavish and, like, big, and I just don't feel like it's realistic in their current climate wherever they're living. For me, it's like, if you can't even tip at all, that's my issue. Like, I'm not expecting 20% every time just because I do it. Like, if I'm tipping, it's 20% or more, depending. But the people that don't tip at all and they do deliver, they get delivery, that's BS. But at the end of the day, really, the big BS thing is how those companies charge so much for those fees. It's a delivery fee, but we don't pay the fee to the driver. So how is that a delivery fee? It's just a fee. Can we get rid of fees? Can we just, like, give me the price straight up? Do you have to be a slimeball about it? Like Ticketmaster, my favorite. The convenience fee, the dreaded convenience. What the hell convenience are you giving me? You stole $300 from me. You steal from a bunch of people. We already know that you have bots that you've put in there that buy it up and then sell it on your other accounts, you know, like StubHub. Ticketmaster works for Ticketmaster. I don't know. These companies, they just I roll, essentially, you know. What's up, Rams fan 08? How we doing? Overseas box office bailout Fast X movie, but the good thing is that North America box office are tired of Fast and Furious franchise. It's so tiring. It's so tiring just seeing it. I've never even gone and seen any of them except for the first one, and just seeing it show up all the time on TV or on Twitter or whatever, hearing that they're making 3 parts. They can't even finish it the right way. They're like, oh, well, the final movie is going to be 3 movies. It's final, you know, we've moved forward 80 years and Fast and Furious 80 whatever is coming out. It's like, you won last year, though. To be fair. I mean, you probably won because Stafford went down, because when, you know, the Rams were, you know, up on the Saints, Stafford was there. The moment he got hurt, they started losing. So, but I hate when they turn on the thing where they make you tip and it is built in and you don't have a choice if you want to tip or not. Yeah, so there are restaurants that I don't go to because they have the auto gratuity. No. I'm not succumbing to that. If your service is crap, I'm not going to give you the biggest tip that you want. Like, the gratuity could be whatever. I mean, I don't know. I've never been a fan of auto gratuity. It really turns me off, and then I don't go there anymore. That's what ends up happening. And I don't think it's not as popular, but still a pain. No one likes auto gratuity, right? I mean, I don't know why you would. Thoughts on Luka Doncic? I think he's great. I think he's one of the best in the league, and I think he's probably the most valuable for the long term. When you think about if you could build a team around anybody, you wouldn't pick LeBron because he's going to be 39. Would you pick Jokic? I mean, how old is Nikola Jokic? He is 28. You could definitely argue Jokic. Yeah, Doncic is a young 24. He turned 24 in February. No, I'm picking Doncic all day. Now, I'm probably saying his name wrong, too. I apologize for that. It's either Doncic or Doncic. Doncic? Either way, he's really good at what he does. Favorite player to watch that isn't a Laker is Joel Embiid. Obviously, the Kansas Jayhawk in the background kind of gives it away, but I'm a huge Kansas fan, and Joel Embiid was... I knew he was going to be special the moment he was on the court for Kansas. I think the first time I saw him, the Hakeem Olajuwon shimmy, oh man, dude, I was like, yeah, this guy is going to be special. I don't think they'll break out because I think that position, like, yes, typically speaking, in a 3-4, you only need one. You need two inside linebackers. In a 4-3, you need one inside and you need two off-ball linebackers, two outside, strong side and weak side. But the Rams, they're predominantly going to be using one linebacker. So I think it's going to be Ernest Jones. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm not getting the friendly vibe that we're going to be getting the Beyond the Spider-Verse movie anytime soon. I know they wanted it out next year. I don't think so, especially not with the Writers Guild thing going on, which I support, by the way, because it's BS. Studios should be paying their writers and shouldn't be trying to use AI and all that BS. In my opinion, people will think otherwise, and that's fine. Hard to tell. I truly don't know. That's a good question. I mean, Wembanyama, I think at the very least is going to be a B+ guy. I think at the very least he's on the same tier as like Chris Bosh at his best. That's how I feel about Wembanyama. That's kind of where I'm at with him. Well, we only have Regal around here, and the other one, Bowtie Cinemas. And Bowtie Cinemas is more old school, and I don't really go there. AMC I only see when I like travel. It's not around here, or I think it's in New York City, but it's not around like my neck of the woods. I would say I really like Regal, and I have no complaints with Regal. I don't think the prices are too crazy. I know some people would disagree, but I don't think spending, $17 or $18 on an RPX movie, which is basically like IMAX, I don't think that's a bad idea. I don't think that's I don't go to the movies all the time. So, my thing is I don't think you're supposed to go to a film like every single time one comes out, just like I don't think you're supposed to go to every single concert. I think the problem is in life, like there are people that want to do everything and you just can't. So, you kind of have to decide. And I think with an experience like going to the movies, the whole point of it is you go to the movies that are worth it. That's why the box office is actually like a valuable piece of knowledge, because basically what the box office is stating is that people decided, you know what, movies are expensive, but this is the movie I went to. Okay. That's what I chose to see my money on. And then if they go a second time, that further proves the point. So that's how I see it. Cause I used to go to every show. I didn't go to any concerts really for the most part throughout my high school career, so to speak. But then when I left high school and I started college, I started going to shows like crazy. I was going to shows all the time. I like 1,000 Foot Crutch. They're probably not even in my top 50 bands. I like them. I'm not hating. But like 1,000 Foot Crutch, who's not even in my top 50, I was at that show. You know what I mean? Like, I'd go to shows that even if I was like on the fence of like in the past going to. Now, I won't go to any show if I'm not like in love with the band. Like the most recent one I went to back-to-backs at Madison Square Garden with Paramore. And Paramore was never in like my top 10 or top 20, but I always really liked them. And they're my sister's favorite band. My dad loves them. Like Paramore is very much loved in this house. And so, you know, I basically like I go those 2 nights and I feel like it made me like Paramore even more. Like, but yeah, I mean, the whole point, like kind of what I'm saying here is that I think it's kind of lost on people. Like, yeah, movies, okay, are expensive at the end of the day, but like, it's just, I don't know. Like, in my opinion, just don't go to every single movie and it works out. Go to the movies that are worth going to. To me, there's no point of going to some movies in theaters if it's not going to have like, you know, like, because the whole point of theaters is you want to see it. It's an art. You want to see it on the big screen. You want to have that sound system. I have that sound system at home. I have the big screen at home. I mean, it's not like movie theater size, but it's big enough, 75 inches. So I don't really, you know what I mean? Like, I actually do like going to the theater, but I also do like streaming. So I'm one of those people that's kind of like back and forth. But yeah, I mean, to answer your question, if I haven't already answered it, Regal is the one that I go to. That doesn't give me positive vibes about next year. I don't think it's coming out next year. I don't. I'll be shocked if Beyond the Spider-Verse comes out next year. We'll be shocked. Yeah, exactly. Great question, Rob. So my thoughts on AI, it's dangerous as hell. I think it is going to ruin society. I think it could absolutely collapse our society. It could collapse the economy. I mean, it could collapse the job market. I mean, just think about it for a sec, okay? If every big employer starts employing AI, right? So they're not employing AI. They're not paying AI. They don't have to. So now it's killing jobs, okay? So you're killing jobs. You have these people that already went to school for this certain thing thinking it was going to be available. And now by the time they get out of college with $40,000 in debt, now you want to say, oh, sorry, we eliminated that position. That's only run by AI now. It's BS, man. I think we've had some incredible writers, for entertainment. And I just, in my opinion, like, you're not going to get Game of Thrones out of AI, right? AI, when you go down that rabbit hole, it starts to become basically to feel like it's an advancement in society, and it's actually dumbing down our brains. The things that we would be getting from AI, since it's not human based, wouldn't be as fresh. It wouldn't be as good. And so we're basically dumbing down our society, and we're dumbing down entertainment and, our hobbies and things like that, for the exact reason of the fact that it is more convenient. Like AI, it takes less time. The problem is that you need time. Like, everyone wants to create an invention to make everything easier, but at the end of the day, some things aren't going to be easy. Like, you need to take the time to put in work, otherwise it's not going to look good. It doesn't matter. Like, you can't just make a video, you make a TV show, you make a movie, having AI write the script, and then you film and direct and all of that. If you stick to the AI script, that's the thing. George R.R. Martin, what he created with the whole Game of Thrones, like, you can't find that with AI. So really what's going to happen is that if we get so obsessed with AI, if we continue to push the narrative of, oh, AI, 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 then Like basically when you go to sit down and watch the HBO movie or HBO TV series or Amazon Prime or Netflix or whatever, it's going to feel not human made. It's going to feel robotic. It's going to feel like, okay, wow, we really have gone downhill with entertainment. I feel like that's a real thing because I don't want to go downhill with entertainment. And I would make the argument that, with TV, I'd say this is the golden age of drama shows. I'm curious what you guys think about that, but I think this is the true golden age of drama shows. And I understand people would say the early 2000s with The Sopranos, and I know like The Wire is another one that gets brought up a lot, but just think about it. Like in the span of no time at all, we've had Ozark, we've had Game of Thrones, we've had Succession. I mean, we've had some incredible dramas, and I think right now things are going well. Things are going in a good direction. Entertainment is there, but if you insert AI in there, I'm one of those people. I don't think that the government should be in every single little thing that you do. I don't think that there should be, like things gate kept and all, like everything should be, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't even know what I'm going to say. But anyway, the point is, I don't think the government should be in your business 24/7, right? But honestly, I would be totally for them stepping in here against AI. Be like, our job market will just absolutely crumble if you start replacing people because AI is cheaper. So that's my thoughts on AI. And I want to say my thoughts on inventions in general. Most inventions are made, the whole point of them is to make it easier, right? It's to make it easier, your life, to solve a problem. So if an invention doesn't solve an issue, like here's an Apple Watch. What issue does this solve? Right? Well, here's the thing. It can act as a phone. You can literally speak into it. It'll text it for you. You can make calls on this thing, as crazy as that is. Now, the whole watch idea, that these programmable watches, this came from predictive programming back in the day with those spy watches where they would talk into them and stuff. That's where this idea came from. So what does this do? Well, for people that struggle to keep their balance and they're getting older, this has fall detection and can literally call the authorities and give them your precise location. So it can actually save lives. It also, and this is not like they don't sponsor this channel, I'm just giving you an example. It also keeps track of your beats per minute. So like my BPM today, max, has been 113. My, resting heart rate has been 68. Also has calendars. It can let you know the air quality, which wasn't a thing that I thought about until a few days ago, where the air quality around here got so bad, my asthma, I wasn't able to go outside. Glad that's over. But yeah, air quality measure, it's got all sorts of stuff. So clearly, the thing that this is solving is it's helping with productivity. It's helping with health, you could argue. It can save lives. It's not like it's saving lives constantly, but it can. So there's a reason for that. Well, then what's the reason for this? What does this do? How does this make our lives easier? Well, now we can communicate with someone in a blink of an eye. We can take photos. We can post on social media. We can literally run a business on this little device here, on this phone. How do these computers make life easier? Well, same thing, productivity, right? I'm streaming using this. Well, what I'm going to is the Apple Vision Pro, okay? And the Apple Vision Pro is cool as it is. And I know this isn't AI, but it's augmented reality. It's on that like big level. I think the three big things right now, three big technological things that people are constantly talking about: AI, AR, and VR, right? So the Motion or Vision Pro or whatever. My question for you, chat, is the Apple Vision Pro going to solve anything? What problem does the Apple Vision Pro solve? What problem? I mean, I think it creates a problem. Now, I still think it's kind of cool. And I think the biggest issue with VR for me, there's two things. One, I don't like to be blinded. Okay, and I know that sounds ridiculous. You're playing VR or you're using VR. Of course you're going to be blinded. I don't want to be blinded. I want to know what's around me. I'm not saying that I'm expecting somebody to break my house and, take me out, but I'd like to know what's going on. Maybe, like what if you're so immersed and there's a fire in your house and you don't know? You might smell it, but what if it's too late? So I don't like being blinded. That's the first thing. The second thing, and this is coming from an owner of the PlayStation VR, by the way. So I have used it, have tried it and everything. Second thing is I have motion sickness, like bad. Like they are, so if you ever go to Universal Studios, all of their like rides are essentially like the motion stuff, right? Like VR, augmented reality, all that. I think the Transformer ride, if I'm being honest with you, was put on this earth to make people who literally can't stand, the motion and get sick from it. That is what I feel like the Transformers ride, because it is absolutely obnoxious. It's constant spinning and you're upside down and really quick and motion blur and all sorts of stuff. I really hate that ride. But anyway, to my point, the thing I like about the Vision Pro is that I don't feel blinded. Now, I've never used it before, but seeing as it is, it's an augmented VR type of hybrid because it's got cameras in the front right here. So they're facing out. We could talk about how weird and how like a breach of privacy that is, like having cameras here, because it can literally scope out your room. And then if somebody were to hack it, they would have kind of, the blueprint of how your house is. But I'm not saying anyone's going to hack it. I'm just saying that that's a possibility. So Vision Pro, the augmented reality, it's cool. It blends into real life and everything. You don't have to be in VR. You can, honestly, I'm not saying I would do it, but if you're somebody that feels like needs a giant screen, but doesn't want to go and spend thousands of dollars on computer monitors or whatever, and if you're not streaming, or maybe if you are and you don't care the way it looks, you can literally put the Vision Pro on, and now you have a monitor that you didn't have to pay for. So, that's kind of cool, right? You could also change where you are in the world. You can do all sorts of stuff because it is a VR element. But what is it? What is the problem that it's fixing? Is it a solution for any problem? See, I think it's literally just trying to replace phones. I don't know about you, but I don't feel like I want to be walking around wearing these goggles that are, I assume, are lightweight. I think that's what they said, are pretty lightweight. But I don't want to be wearing these goggles. I don't want that to be the norm, because all of a sudden it sounds like Ready Player One is right around the corner. I'm not about to try to jump into a virtual world. I'm curious what you guys think. But the Vision Pro, I have a lot of thoughts on. And I got to say, for the people that are saying it's straight up evil, I can't get down with that. For the people that are saying there's no drawbacks to it, can't get down with that. The people that are taking a hard stand either way, I can't really get down with. I respect your opinion, and that's great. But with the Vision Pro, I think what it really comes down to is it's important to realize this is cool. It can help with productivity, but it's not really solving a problem. It's more so just kind of a cool thing, to have. And so recognizing that's what it is, but it also could lead to other, unintended consequences. I think that's probably the best course of action to go through. Because, that's kind of how I feel about that. But yes, Jake TED Talk. Anyway, back to that. AMC for me, $20 for a large popcorn and drink, and then abuse the soda and ice machines to justify the price. Any horror game plays? Yeah, so I don't have a horror game to play right now, but down the road, I'll probably save up some money and we'll go out and we'll get Resident Evil 4 maybe, and like the remake, and then maybe Dead Space. I think that's probably the move. So I don't have any good horror games to play in my opinion, but down the road, I think we will. Maybe in a couple months. Also waiting on some horror games to come out too. He got paid $4 to write a show for Hulu. That's insane. Never heard of Edwards. AMC I've definitely heard. We can't even get Game of Thrones from GRRM. LOL, but yes, AI needs to be restricted to certain applications akin to a Tony Stark Jarvis. We start down the path to Judgment Day. I don't know. Kind of It's up in the air, you know. I'd like the Lakers to get a Kansas Jayhawk. That would be cool. I want Grady Dick at the end of the day, him and Jalen Wilson to go to a team that'll actually use them. But aside from that, I don't have too much that I'm really thinking about. Does anyone have any final questions? I'm about to hop out. Regal Edwards. Oh, it's Regal? Interesting. Okay. Yeah, we have Regal Cinemas around here, but I've never heard Regal Edwards. I'm staring those Mott sticks and wings in the face, and then I'm going to hop off, eat those, and then we'll come back on and we'll play some Sifu. And I think I might just stream on Kick for that. I don't know. Yeah, I'll stream it to YouTube. I don't know. The gaming, I feel like, is predominantly a Kick thing, and I feel like these are predominantly probably a YouTube thing, but I'll see you then. Absolutely. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Recording Off the Edge tomorrow. Believe in Rams down the later on in the week. Off the Edge again later on in the week. And, you know, we'll be live, and look out for streams throughout the day. Tomorrow as well. I might go live earlier in the morning and afternoon, so we'll see there for gaming. But yeah, I'll be over on Kick. Be sure to check that out. Kick.com /JKBogan is where I'll be streaming Sifu. So if you want to check that out, it's a fighting game, and we'll hang out, have some fun. We'll be streaming probably the rest of the night or most of the night. So yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Later, folks.